Hi, this is Randy Miller, and this is my actual house. And just for closure on this right here, what you're seeing right here, I'm gonna be wrapping the kitchen countertops. And a lot of times I say, when you call me up or ask questions, don't wrap the kitchen countertops. Well, there's pluses and negatives, but the only reason why I'm doing this is because I'm testing out this product. It's called Bodak vinyl. And I got some extra vinyl, just enough to do this side right here, and also the backsplash. Yeah, I can recommend doing the backsplash but first of all, I kind of want to get rid. We just bought this house about 3-4 months ago, and I'm not liking the countertop colors and everything, so I just want to update it for now. And but I just wanted to show you the process of if you want to wrap your kitchen countertops. You can't cut on it and you can't put anything hot on there, but other than that, everything else is fine. But I'm just going to leave it on and see how long it lasts. It should last a long time. We take care of our home and everything, so I don't see a problem with that. So this is basically a gray concrete, and so vinyl, the dark gray and a light gray. And the tools I'm using this is called a bodyguard twin knife, and that's for cutting the back 1 inch. I'm going to show you that real quickly. Also, I cut all the vinyls with the single one, the bodyguard. And all these tools are on theoldtools.com. And also my favorite squeegee is called a Betty. A spacer. So it's a 1/8 inch thick spacer, and that's for going around these corners right here and then cutting it so it's a nice evenly cut. And what I did before I even started this video is I cut all the vinyl to make the video go a little quicker. Also, this is a rubbing alcohol and water right here, and I cleaned all the way around top, also underneath the cabinets right here and all around. So I made sure everything's nice and clean before I even do anything. So other than that, hopefully you enjoy this video, and just sit back and relax and kind of explain what I'm doing on these videos, on this process and everything. So right now I'm just going to just do the countertop first. So I cut a little bit extra over. Let me show you real quick. Oh, the back end right here. This is what I was talking about. The double cut knife. This cuts exactly 1 inch. This is what I do, it's what's called tacking it down. And also make sure the vinyl goes all the way to the edge. So you can move it around whatever you want. And it only tacks just this one little spot right here. Then when we're happy where it is staying, so make sure you loop it all the way around. Oh, I got plenty over here. Yeah, if there's times that I'm not talking, that means I'm focusing. So so I move around just a little bit more. This is great. Actually, you wrap the kitchen countertops if you really want to. Like I said, I recommend not doing it because you can't cut on it and you can't put any extreme heat on it. But again, it transforms your kitchen countertops really good. Also, I have a heat gun, so I'm going to show you how to do the corners. These are kind of 45-degree angle corners. I'm going to actually stretch it over and instead of cutting. So I make sure everything goes nice and where it's supposed to be. And what I'm going to do is, I got a straight edge. It's perfect. Let's see. Let me just move this over just a little. Move her down just a little bit more. One enough to actually go around the sides. If you got any comments or questions after the video is over, I'll answer those questions. Oh, perfect. So what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to do like a 40 or straight shot right here. So I can get the vinyl going right here. Okay. Make sure to check the video. Okay, looks good so far. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the top done first. And then I'll try to zoom in like around the corners, and also heating around these corners, and also right about here. And I'm going to, once it's down far enough, I'm going to cut a little excess off right here for now. And this is a great opportunity to show you the bodyguard from Yellow Tools, and what it does, it doesn't cut. You can actually cut between the paper and the vinyl, or you can cut both. And I'm not going to cut on the surface right here. I'm actually just going to cut, I'll show you right here. I'm going to do a double cut right here, but I want to get some of this excess off. That's the reason why I want to kind of focus on that, make sure it's all nice and straight. If you want to do projects like this, you can always call me, and I'll tell you if it's possible or not possible. You take pictures of this. I might take videos of these cabinets, doors too, because a lot of houses have these beveled edges and everything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a video of this, showing people how to do it. It's possible. It's a little more challenging, and it takes a little longer, but it's doable. Okay. Now everything is all nice and where it needs to be. I'm going to take that, make sure I got my knife with me. Okay. I like to double check everything before I even start. Now, as I did that one little strip, you're going to see how fast this is going to go. If you get a little crinkle, that's fine. You can actually pull up the vinyl. I do it all the time. And there's a little air bubble in there. That's no big deal. You can actually, if you want, you can poke it. Sometimes I do. Sometimes if it's big enough. I just did a little baby poke. I use my thumb so I can actually fill everything. So once everything, I feel like everything is all nice and bubble free almost, I'll put the little heat on the very, very end. And when you put the heat on, that's when the bubbles come up. Okay. Next. Come on. Try to roll this. You'll let me. So I'm going to show you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the backing, but it's not letting me roll. So I grabbed the backing of the paper and I just kind of moved it over. That's the reason why now it's hunched up. It's kind of good in a way when it's hunched up like that, because it lifts up the vinyl. Yeah, I'm just barely putting enough, a little poke right there. Once you start getting going, then it's a little easier. I'm testing this out, and then also my wife and kids are off doing debate stuff at the school, and they're going to be gone until 9 o'clock. And I said, okay, I got a couple hours to kill, and this is what I'm doing. And if there's a little air bubble, if it doesn't want to smash that way, that's no big deal. Like I said, at the very end. And I'm going like every maybe 3 inches. I'm pulling the paper. Once I get over here, I'm going to show you how you do a double cut. Let me get rid of some of this. This is one of my favorite tools. Sorry if it's loud. Okay, now kind of not the tricky part, but there's little tricky areas right here. When you get close to something like this, and you do a baby step. So you go right to the corners and you cut, and you keep on going, you cut, you keep on going, cut. Let me actually show you. Hopefully that shows you everything. Okay. Now here's where you go right up to the edge, and what I do is kind of release the vinyl a little bit. I cut right where I think it's going to be turning. And I just kind of keep cutting upwards. And wherever there's a corner, I cut up. So it releases. So that's, you kind of see where I cut straight up. And then what I can do is walk it in. Actually, I can use the heat gun too. Okay, here's where the spacer comes in. Let me go get the spacer real quick. I don't know what the proper name's not the spacer, but I'll put the description down below. So right here, it's thick enough. Right here, and then also there's a thinner one that I might use. So let me see how thick this is. And I'm kind of walking it so it's a evenly. So if you can see that, let me see what that looks like on the video. Okay, there's a little bit better view. Okay, this is all vinyl too, so you can heat it and stretch it and move it around. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to, I guess, eyeball it because it's such those little weird corners. Shove that in there. And the heat will sink that in even more. Okay, so now going over here, let's try to, let's see, how can I, what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat this right here. I'm going to heat it, and then I'm going to stretch it over, and then I'm going to work my way over. I'm trying to not get in you guys way. Okay, so far it's looking pretty good. Come on, there you go. Try to get a little more where it needs to be. There's two different ways you can do this. You can heat it or just cut right to the edge and then cut it relief and then cut it again. I'll show you both. So what I'm looking for is, looks like the vinyl looks like it's ready to relax. And I don't know if you can see this on the video. And it's kind of relaxing. You kind of see where I'm going. I'm just kind of relaxing it, and you don't need too much heat. Just enough so you see it dancing, basically. Okay. There, just that simple. Oh, I got a little extra right here, so what I should have done is not to cut straight across, but go 45-degree angle cut upwards. So let's keep on going down. And at the very end, I always add heat at the very end of the heat around the edges. Okay, before I get a little too close over here, so I can have more control. Okay, let's move that bad boy right there. That looks kind of good. Okay. Same kind of thing. And what I'm looking for it to dance, see, it's kind of dancing on the left side, and it just looks like it's just softening it up. That's good. Here. So it's a little loose right there. Before I even cut any of this, what I do is I add heat to it. The heat shrinks up the vinyl a little bit more. It sucks it up. And then once it's sucked up, then I would do is try to loop it underneath. And then underneath, cut the excess off. You kind of see how it's dancing up and then it's going upwards. See right here? Yeah. There. It's a little more work right here. If you got like little fingers, you can always use a little heat and get rid of the fingers. That's what you're seeing right here. The corners are always a little more challenging, and that's normal. And then, there you go. Okay, let's go this way. Make sure you're in the line of sight. There you go. Okay. I'm going to watch it dance a little bit. Looks like it's softening it up. And I'm not pulling hard, I'm just pulling enough just to, once it's heat up. And again, I'm not perfect all the time, and it's always fixable. You don't want to stretch it out too much, but once you get to play around with this vinyl, there it is. You can feel that and make sure there's no fingers in there. And what I'm gonna, well, as long as I'm here, well, no, let's finish this right here. Let's go down a little bit more before we cut. Okay, again, like I said, I like to add a little heat to it. It shrinks it up. You can see a little more fingering right there. Okay, that's far enough that I can actually, if I want to, I can start cutting. Okay, so what I normally do, yeah, get that thing running. So I go right at the edge, and I kind of do like a little thing like this. Just enough to overlap it. Okay. Now, I think this goes even further down. Kind of want to show you what I. Hopefully, you can see that. Yeah, looks like it. So I'm going to soften up the vinyl again. You can kind of see it dancing. With this does, it softens the vinyl, but also activates the glue a little bit more, and it sucks up the vinyl a little bit more. Okay, once it's kind of not melted, but enough to. So what I'm doing, I can't really see it, but I'm stretching it over and then under, and on the other side of this. And the majority of the people won't see it underneath behind, but if you just want a really nice clean cut look underneath on the back side that no one's going to see, you can just cut right there. Okay. Let's add a little heat to it, and it's sticking really good on the other side. So the key is going over here underneath, and then the back side of that. Now it's nice and sealed up. Okay. Let's make sure you guys. Okay, so you stretch it over and underneath. Yeah, I mean every installer is a little bit different, and I can stretch it over, but I just like have like a little cut mark right here. And so it releases the film right here at the edges. But yeah, thanks for the input. Yeah, every installer, every painter, every carpenter, everyone does it a little differently. This is just my style. That's all it is. I have a little extra over here, so I'm just going to cut it. Okay, continue on. Kind of relaxing the vinyl a little bit. There we go. Not worried about this over here. See how it just kind of floats and dance. That's what I'm kind of looking for. So, and right now I'm just tacking it on to the back side, or I'm sorry, underneath here, just enough to hold it on. Make sure there's no lip. Now I'm going to shove it into the back side of this wood. And then I'm going to add a little heat at the very end. And I did clean all this right here, the back side. Keep on forgetting about you. So what I use, I push right here, and I know exactly where the corner is. And I'm not going right up to that corner. I'm actually going probably 1/8 inch down, just enough to, so when the vinyl, see how it's relaxing, and it's actually, you can't see it, but it's going up just a little bit. I like to experiment with a lot of stuff at my house before I say, yes, go ahead and do it. So, I got doors, I got cabinetry, and I got all kinds of stuff. Also, it's a good practice. I'm always practicing. It's like a basketball player or a sports person. They never stop practicing, so that's what I'm doing. I'm always practicing. I'm always trying to push the limits or test out what works and doesn't work. Okay. I'm going to add a little heat now. Activates it a little bit better. It seals it in. Okay, starting to look good. Here, let me zoom you out real quick. Oops. Sorry about that. I got that locked in. Didn't. There we go. Okay. Cut in the back. Yeah, if you have like a dirty floor, a lot of times I just, or a little dirty area, I just use the sticky part of the tape, and I just kind of clean it as I'm going. Okay, so it was, and again, I like to add a little heat. You know what? Let me show you what it looks like at a close-up view. What I'm seeing. I really need to get like a GoPro or something. Let's see how close I can get that. Alright. Hopefully you can see this. So you can see how the vinyl is kind of sinking in and dancing. And if there's like a little air bubble, that's fine. A lot of times, if there's an air bubble like that, I just kind of go like this, and it disappears. Okay. And there's like an air bubble right here. What I normally do is I add a little heat to it. Just enough. And disappears. And there is little pokers I have, or you can get too. It's like little needles, that's all it is. So I just like adding a little heat on every little corner that I do. Okay. Just want to make sure I don't feel any air bubbles. It's actually looking pretty good. Let's move this guy over here. Vroom. Hopefully you see all that. Yep, you can see all that. Good. Okay. Okay, right at this edge, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut long ways. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a double cut right here. I'll show you how to do a double cut. Let me wait until you get to the area. Fingers. So when you're trying to do when you heat something, you gotta wait just a moment for it to cool off, and the vinyl is easier to cut. It's not so rubbery or. Yeah, I got a lot of excess right here. I'm gonna cut some of this off. And a lot of times, with the extras like this big, I can use them for something. I always try to find somewhere I can actually use it somewhere. Let's see if I can use this right here. Oh, so close. Here. Yeah, it looks like it. Almost. Let's see. Let's see. And what I would do is I don't have enough material, I don't think, to... the proper way I would do this, I would, if I had enough material, I would go from here all the way to there and do a double cut on... oops, you can't see me. Sorry about that. There you go. I did a spot right here, if you can see. Again, if I had enough material, I just have enough to. This is like a demonstration, or actually a test samples. So I would go from here straight and go all the way over to here, because it's about 4 feet, and then have a cut line here, or have a cut line at the shortest part right here. But with the double cut, it's gonna be hard to find the cut line, but doesn't hurt to try. Anytime I do a job, even though if I know I have extra, I try to use up as much scraps or vinyls or anything like that. I always have a game plan. Anytime you do any wraps, so there. Okay, I'm gonna grab my spacer real quick, and I might not even use this little scrap right here. I just want to see if it's possible, if it's, see what it looks like. Yeah, it turned out good. Okay, so right now, oh, I gotta do it here. Let's do, hopefully I'm not in the way. Hope you guys are learning something or enjoying the how-to video. You can see the vinyls on the armwrapsstore.com. Not this vinyl, but there are also there's the DI-NOC and also built-in concrete vinyls similar to this. So just go to armwrapsstore.com. You can see all that. And just kind of slowly working it in. At the very end, I'm going to actually use the heat again, like I told. Okay, on right here, I'm going to wait till I do the double cut on these edges right here. Actually, no, you don't have to. Okay, I'm going to use the heat a little bit later. All right, here comes the good part, final, well, the double cut part. Hopefully you can see all this right here. Okay. You need a straight edge ruler for this guy. Actually, do a cleanup right now. I'm going to use my spacer. I'm going to cut right there. You stay longer or stay around. I'm going to wrap this thing too, the Backsplash. That I know I could recommend doing. I've done a few Backsplashes and they turned out really good. Okay, this is already pre-cut. So what I'm going to do, it's already a straight ruler, so I'm just going to go over a little bit, and I'll show you why. Actually, here, I'll show you what I'm going to do. Where is that? Oh, there's right there. Okay, I'm going to use the bodyguard, and what I'm going to do, this is what's a double cutter. I'm going to cut about an inch here. I'm not cutting the vinyl, I'm cutting the back of the paper. Same thing. Same side, because what I'm going to do is by the sink. Okay. Now, I'm going to, where is that double? There it is. Instead of me fighting around with it, I'm going to use the double bodyguard cutter. And I'm going to call it tacking. So let me, there you go. Again, I'm just cutting the back of the paper, not the, let's make sure you have everything in view. Okay. So, I'm going to take that guy. And I'm imagining where the corner is, so it's going to be right about there. So what I'm going to, actually that's way extra over. You don't need that much extra over. I'll show you why. So this is where I kind of have to cut on the table, but I'm going to cut enough just to basically score it. I didn't push hard, but enough to, let's see if I can, yeah. It doesn't have to be perfectly straight. I'm just kind of, all right. Okay, so what I'm going to do, the game plan, is have this overlap 1 inch, thick as my thumb. In there, and then there. I'm going to make sure it's about 1 inch hitting the wall. I'm going to find my tacker. So make sure everything is where it needs to be. Poking up here, poking on the wall, got enough right here. Good, 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 good. Make sure it goes over. Perfect. Okay. So, as you see, I cut just the back right here. I'm going to show you. Actually, I need to get over. I was over a little too much. That's why we call it the tacker. Okay, I'm just going to tack it on one little edge right here. Okay, make sure it's all, nope. Not enough. There. Make sure it's overlapping. Okay, back to the old spot. That doesn't matter. I'll show you why. So make sure everything's nice and where it needs to be. Make sure the vinyl's nice and relaxed. There you go. Okay, so let's start tacking it on, or you're just kind of like laying it on. Right up to the edge. This is where it comes in. And you just shove it in there. Okay, now take your spacer. You be careful when you're doing this. When you're removing it, so a lot of times it doesn't cut all the way through because of the grout, or there's a space in the tile. So you kind of slowly do it. Alright, okay. Check my video, make sure you can see everything good. Okay. And again, everyone has their different styles. If you think you can, if you have a better way of doing this, go ahead. And this is the way I was, or I kind of, a lot of this is self-taught, but I did go to 3M and got certified. And they showed me a few pointers. And everywhere I go, everything I do, there's always a little something that you find as, oh, didn't know about that. Oh, I should have done, dang it. Well, that's right. Anything that's really sticky, like this will be sticking pretty good. I always add like tape on it, blue tape or 8-day tape. Okay, so let's do the double cut right now. Okay, so it's right here. This is where you need a straight edge. And I can kind of feel where that is right there. So I'm trying to stay between this guy and this guy. So this is that right here is this vinyl. And so that's where I'm trying to stay, is between that guy and that guy. I'll show you why. Okay, this is where you need to basically push hard, because you want to cut through both paper, vinyl, okay, here's where the magic comes in. Let me see if I can zoom in real quick. All right. So on this edge right here, a lot of times I just cut right here. And just cut a little bit extra, get the little lip off. Here it goes. Okay. Let's do the double cut now. So this is the we're supposed to be is taking this guy off, because I cut through both. Take the excess off. Okay, here's where I use my fingernail, and you can actually feel, well, I can't feel it now, but you can actually you can guide. If the vinyl goes on top of this vinyl, you can actually use your fingernail and shove that vinyl over to that vinyl, so the vinyls are meeting together in a single layer. I can go get my other squeegee, but you honestly, okay, here, I'll show you real quick. Let me see if you can actually, let me pull this off real quick. Let's do like a little close-up. Okay. You can see where this is at right here. So now you can't, it just like disappears. Honestly, I can't feel anything right there. And the cut line is like almost, I can't even see it. And I'm not being a smart ass or anything, but it is hard to see where, and also you can't even feel it. So that's where the double cut comes in. I don't know, tell me what you guys think. I can read your comments if you say anything right now before I put that back in my pocket. Yes, we see. Okay, good. Got a comment. Yay. Are you guys learning anything? Okay. Done. Yeah, I like it. Looks pretty good. Okay, so let's go over here. Okay, so this right here again is another double cut. Let's see if I can actually zoom in a little bit better. Okay. So I'm going to release some of the pressure. I'm going to come up just a little bit. I'm going to try to cut. Okay, so, and this vinyl is about 8 mils thick, if you're good at the mils thickness. Okay, so again, I'm going to do a double cut. This is where I need the flashlight, but actually I can see it right about there. Okay, I'm going to cut that right. That'll be my guide right there. I'm going to cut right towards the edge. So where's my, oh, here's right. Oh, it's not long enough. Anyway, let's just eyeball it. So I'm going to cut right here. And I'm going to go straight. I'm going to do a 45 right here. So the vinyl, when it lays down. Okay. So now let's take the extras off. Here's right there. Just be careful. There we go. That's the extra off. And it should just lay right down, and okay, and I can feel that little lip right there. No big deal. I'm going to, there, perfect. Once you get that lip going, I always like using my fingernail. Poof, disappeared. It's like magic. Okay. I'm going to use my spacer real quick again. And you can actually use that. I used to use a stir stick for my spacer. Now, if I really wanted to, and we'll probably keep this for a little bit on here, I recommend if you do it on the kitchen countertop, I would use a silicone all around here so the water does not seep into the back and start lifting up the vinyl. Oh, never mind. Sorry, I thought you heard a noise outside. Okay, so let's continue on. You know what we can do next? No, let's lose the focus. I was going to hit the backsplash next, but I want to get that all the way to the edge of the corner, or actually this island right here out of the way. Let me just focus on this real quick. And this you can do on boats, yachts, I don't know, lots of different okay, so I'm not gonna do a double cut here because it's already been kind of cut. It's hard to go around edges. Oops. Okay. Sorry if you guys make comments. I'm not saying anything. I just got it in my pocket and I can't see where your comments are. Hopefully at the end of the video I can see the comments. Sometimes they get erased because this is a live video. We're from Boise, Idaho. Okay, so what I'm going to do last again, I'm going to use a little heat and activates it a little bit better. So the backsplash, where is that one? Oh, here it is. Backsplash is going to go right here. So it's a darker gray. I'm going to hit that, but I got to hit the bottom part first. All this right here first. Actually, let's go this way next. Let's see if I can zoom or lift this guy up. Make it a little easier for you guys to see it. Yep. Yeah, I just don't care for that look. Okay. So we got plenty. So we go here, and then I can easily do a cut right here. But as you can see, you can't even see the double cut. So again, oops, I gotta cut the back again. So I'm using the bodyguard single cut. I was going to cut 1 inch. Okay, now I'm going to do the double cut, so I can tack it on. See where it's supposed to go. It always helps to have good tools. Okay, so I want to make sure the vinyl is kissing the backsplash. There's no gaps. There it goes. There it goes. Hopefully I got enough to, oh, so close. I think I'll be working. I got enough to go over there. Okay. Here's my knife. Oh, there it is right there. Duh. Okay, I'm going to release some a little pressure right here. I'm going to use my bodyguard single blade. Make sure I'm not cutting too much over. There. That helps out a little bit. I'm not fighting with it. Hopefully you can see all this. Yeah. Okay, I can kind of feel where that others. I use my fingernail to see where the double cut mark or that this vinyl is at. And also, I'm gonna cut right from here to here. Then do a 45 right there. I don't know why, but this is one of my favorite ones when I do a double cut and when I put them together. It was kind of weird, but I just like to see how it just kind of disappears. There. See, this is where the tape comes in. If you have like a blue tape or anything like that, or green tape, this vinyl doesn't like adhering to that other tape. So you're not fighting it with it, and it just glides right across. Okay. Okay, for this one right here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut. I'm not going to stretch. Go straight down. There you go. So what I'm going to do is right here, right when it turns, there, I'm going to shave off the extra. That's the beauty of that. You can just shave it. Actually, you can sand it down to make it flush. Okay, let's continue on going backwards. So what I'm trying to do is I'm going to aim. Oops, that was a good one. Aim that way. So I'm just molding around. If I really wanted to, I mean, the proper way to do this is remove the sink and do it in one shot, and well, to go from that corner to this corner. The less cut marks you have, for me, the better. But again, I'm just testing out this vinyl. Turning on the water, scaring me. Yeah. Okay. And I can use a little bit of heat to sink it in. Sorry, I was focusing. And then cut it. Okay, we're almost done. Well, for the countertop. And a little heat, sink this in a little bit more. So if you can actually see this corner real quick. Yeah, you can. Okay, good. So on this one right here, I'm just going to cut where that angle is. I'm going to do a 45-degree angle cut. There we go. See that 45? I'm going to tack that down. Kind of loop it in there. I'm going to take my knife and just kind of walk that edge. Okay, again. Sorry. The bottle was leaking for something. So what I can do is just shave this extra off right here. There's two different ways you can do this. You can shave it off, or you can actually, believe it or not, take sandpaper. Or just go like, and you don't want to get any kind of lip. So if you go like this and you get a lip, that means you're, I will get some sandpaper. Come on. There he goes. Let me just get some of that lip off real quick. Okay. Oh. Okay. Next is the spacer. What spacer does is this forces the vinyl down. Also, it brings 1/8 inch up. So when you install the backsplash is going on top of vinyl, Take your time. Here, that's good actually. Okay, one more baby. Give me your baby. See if we got any more scraps. We always like to have scraps. Oh, that's not going to do anything. All right. I'm going to do a little cleanup real quick. Okay. You don't need this straight edge anymore. Okay. We got this little extra left. Here's the fun part. Okay. Take a double cutter. So we'll do 19, 40. $19.40, right about there. Okay, so this is gonna be fun. All right, double cut. I'm gonna do it right in the middle. So I can actually tack it on to see where it's going to. Oh, come on. There it goes. Here's a little trick I'm going to show you guys. When you're doing corners like that, it's best to, I'm going to cut the back 1 inch. Actually, let me show you real quick. Let's see, that will be the corner. Okay, so I cut the back 1 inch right here, 1 inch right here on the side, so that's where the double cut is at. Also, is that the right one? Skittles. Yeah, doesn't matter. Here, I'll show you. Hold on. Let me fix this little thing. It was the wrong side. 1 inch. Cut the 45. Okay, so the 45 is cut right here. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to crease the sides like this. See that? I'm going to crease the other side, and I'm going to show you why. So much easier to install when you have something like this, when you're doing something like this. Okay, so you know how, see the vinyl is lifted up right there on the edges? So when you lay it down like this, you have extra coming up and over. And this is what I apply to a lot of, there you go, a lot of stuff, a lot of jobs when I have to have tight corners like this. Right about there. Inch, lifting up, and just tack. So as you know, I'm flattening this down. I got about a 1/4 inch, and it's fine. Try to get the excess off. Okay. Pull the backing out. I'm going to do a double cut over here too. See, this is barely about a half an inch right here, lipping up to the thing. Next, pull the backing towards the back. And I'm leaving that 1 inch border right where it, no, let's try it. I learned if you just slam it, the glue doesn't adhere where the edge of the subject is. So I'm using my spacer now. Actually, it looks pretty good. I'm liking the color too. So I got a concrete-like kitchen countertop. In a few hours. Not sure how long I've been doing this video now, but I say that's pretty cool. You can do something in a few hours and change it out. It's also recycling. Not a lot of waste, very little waste, just paper, actually. Okay, get the edges. I'm going to do a double cut back here. Then I'll show you how to do the backsplash. Okay, right now I'm just going to do, well, you know what? Here, let's see if you can actually see this. And I'm going to eyeball it because I can't get the ruler back there, and it's just there you go. So I know where the edge this vinyl side is, so I'm just going to fill that, and then I'm just going to go straight. I'm going to cut through both vinyls and the backing. So this is where the double cut, or the cutting the paper in the back. So that right there. And that right there. And there's one more. There it is right there. Come on. Vinyl. Okay. Let it lay down naturally. And then I use my fingernail. You can use your squeegee if you want. And actually I'm filling, well, I'm not filling. I'm actually seeing too. Actually, I can move it around if I needed to, the vinyl. But I want the vinyls to butt in, like I said before. There. And at the very end, like again, I'm going to use a little heat. But, there. That's gone. I can see a little bit of difference. This is a little lighter, it's a little darker. But if I said, okay, find the cut mark, they'll have a hard time trying to find the cut mark. Okay, let's go over here real quick. Okay, again, I'm trying to feel for the edge. I got about half an inch. Spacer. Now I'm going to get this guy out of the way, and then I'm going to actually do the backsplash next. All right. Next, the backsplash. I gotta do a little cleanup real quick. Hold on, guys. Sorry. Stay with me. I know you can do it. So I could do a little mini cleanup. All right, here comes the fun part. Now, people are always asking, how do you go around these objects? I'm going to show you. Okay, again, once I did is I cleaned everything, rubbing alcohol, again, the grooves and everything. I'm going to actually add a little heat. Okay, I kind of pre-cut everything. It'll make it easier to do. Also, I did a double cut. I'm sorry, yeah, double cut, 1 inch. Right, I'm aiming right about here. That's where the longest part of the vinyl is. Okay, the bottom part. Let's do this. Where's the double cut? Right there. Okay, I'm gonna do the 1 inch again. I'm gonna do the 1 inch. Just cutting the paper, the backing, and I'll show you why. Okay. So what I'm going to do is might have to go get some tape. I'm just pushing it down, creasing it, so it just lands on top. And I know I have extra vinyl, making sure that the vinyl is actually going on here. It's the vinyl, then I'm going to cut the excess off using the spacer. Okay, you can see how it's lifted up right here. Next, make sure it overlaps everything. And I got, I'll make sure. So make sure there's a gap or an extra bleed over here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to tack it on. So make sure that's enough. And turn off and on the lights and turn on off and on the garbage disposal. Make sure that works okay. I'm only joking, guys. Okay, so come on. So make sure I have enough vinyl. It's like I always double check everything. Okay, I think that looks a sweet spot. All right, so we just go up. Yeah, sorry. No, what message? Okay, let me finish this up. I'm actually doing the backsplash. It'll take me about 10 minutes, and I'll be right there. All right, I'll see you soon. Bye. Oops, did I lose you guys? I think I lost you guys. Ah, well, that's it.